First Nations Adaptation to Agriculture by Matt, Ben, and Isaiah. First Nations did not use agriculture as a traditional way of production. Traditionally, they are hunter-gatherers. The Europeans thought agriculture made you civilized. The government sent agents and missionaries to make First Nations people into farmers. The coastal First Nations people have little potential farmland, but the interior First Nations did have a good amount of land, so they did join the agricultural economy. As industry came to town, the first native people lost more land. With their land being taken away from them, they needed a way to make money, so they became part of the agricultural workforce. As I mentioned before, the First Nations were hunter-gatherers, so there is a vast difference between their traditions and European farming. For example, First Nations used a large variety of plants and animals, using a large amount of land, moving around depending on the season. It was less work than the European way. The European farmer harvested a lesser variety of crops and livestock with less land needed to do so. But the Europeans could get 160 to 320 acres of unoccupied land as long as they improved the land. Improvement could simply be clearing the land. The First Nations could not do this. They couldn't even participate in the agricultural scene because water and land rights were taken by European settlers. At least there were laws prohibiting the claim of First Nation villages and burial sites, right? No, because those were often ignored. Despite not getting land or water to properly get into the agricultural farm game, they did stay with agriculture, but as laborers instead of farmers. Hundreds of First Nations people became hot berry pickers. Women and children were the ones picking the berries, while the men maintained the plants, transported full stacks, and operated the kilns where the hops were processed. The hop berry was used for the production of beer. For all their hard work, they would only receive 1 cent a pound, and on average would gather 300 pounds, equaling $3 per day of laboring. With all the Europeans moving over to Canada and the United States thought it was cool too. So in the 1860s, they moved on up, bringing cattle ranching with them. With all the ranchers moving in, the colonial government started selling or leasing land to the ranchers. Canadian cattle ranching started in the Okanagan, Nicola Valley, Caribou, and Chilcotin. Natives liked ranching, since they were already expert at riding, and many became very successful with it.